Okay, so I'm here, present and accounted for. Johnny, you there?
I am. Hello.
Hey, we are StarCrossed gamers. This is
We
episode
are.
2.
Wow, we got a
Holy.
second episode.
Oh, yeah, we're finally doing it. I was nervous. Nah, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't nervous. I just knew we just had to find the time to make it happen. And we did. And we're going to make it happen. We're going to continue making it happen. And you're going to continue finding StarCrossed gamers podcasts out there everywhere. Much love to Tone Deaf Network for blasting us across the universe and all the ether. Um, but how you been, Johnny?
I have been pretty good, thank you. How about you?
You know what? No complaints. I took my daughter to go see Frozen 2 and I enjoyed it more than I should have. Um, but we're not going to talk about that yet because there's some things that have been on my mind and it's kind of sad. I feel like I've grown either. I don't want to say I've outgrown Pokemon. The game at least. TV shows I fell off a long time ago. But or the anime. A lot of people don't realize it's anime. But I the games since Pokemon Sun and Moon have been really hard for me to enjoy, like just 100% enjoy. And I think it's mainly because it feels real handholdy.
hmm
But Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is selling amazingly, by the way, folks. Like the game did over 6 million since its release last week. It's really crushing it, and I have no fault. I understand. I bought it, so I get it. But
I didn't.
yeah, understand it's okay because I some days I wish I wouldn't have bought it. I haven't even fought the first gym master yet, and I'm feeling like hollow and empty. Like
As
it's
if
not
you. God.
outgrown the game. It's clear it's not made for me.
Yeah.
It really isn't, especially since I'm not like a competitive player. It'd be different if I was out there like collecting shinies or had like a Pokebank with every Pokemon that ever came out. Like there's a bunch of things in place that I feel like if I had, I would truly enjoy.
So what you're
But me,
saying is, what
mm,
you're saying is, you do not have what it takes to truly catch them all.
yeah, I really don't. My spirit is broken. I'm completely empty.
What a
But
shame.
yeah, my tank is on E, but I'm gonna force myself to finish this. Only because I spent the money. But one thing I will say is the way I play Pokemon now is completely different. Cause me, I used to go through back with like Pokemon Silver, Crystal, and all those fun days. Even Red, Blue, Yellow, Green, uh,
Are these all
Ruby.
games?
Yes, Ruby, Sapphire. I think the one game that I enjoyed the most was like Crystal and the Gold and Silver. Those were the most fun I had with Pokemon. That's when you had the introduction of the Pokemon eggs. So I'm sitting there catching all type of Pokemon, breeding them like crazy. Um, it was just fun elements, but then at the same time, it did not feel handholdy. Well, the reason I say this Pokemon feels handholdy is it added in the elements of like the Pokemon Go, where you're
hmm
walking around in the grass and you see the Pokemon. They have also this exclamation thing that pops up, and it's a random Pokemon that you have no idea what it is, and the bushes kind of rattle, and you can run
Solid Snake
into it.
style.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Oh, dude, you're awesome for that. I'm a big Hideo Kojima fan, and I played the hell out of Metal Gear Solid growing up. Um, Sons of Liberty, I think, was the best one for me. The game was dope. I mean, Snake Eater. Okay, I can't dismiss Snake Eater, but still, I remember putting in the most time into Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. Um, and you got me off track. But with
Pokemon.
Pokemon, I so you're walking through the bushes and you can see the Pokemon. Now, as somebody who's just trying to collect Pokemon, which at this point that's what I'm doing mentally is just going around collecting as many as possible, it makes it easier. And but at the
Hmm.
same time, it's like that the grind is gone. Now maybe I can get more technical and go and like really try to collect Pokemon with certain traits and certain stats. Like cuz there is all that in it. Like the RPG element is heavy, but you have to really look for me, I feel like you have to really look past the the face of the game because it's really weird. Like the first area I get into to really catch Pokemon is like the wild area. I forgot what the exact name of it. There's a giant level 26 Onyx, which is the big stone snake, and it's just walking around. And I was like, really? Like it was almost like a buzzkill. You know what it feels like, what it looks like? It looks like an MMO.
Oh, don't tempt me like that.
No, I promise you. You know how in MMOs you walk out into an area and you just see you can farm creatures.
Yep.
That's exactly what they did to Pokemon. Except you're not mashing buttons to kill them. You go into another screen to do an RPG turn-based battle. So, but they're all. It's just like that. You're walking, you're minding your business. You can go on your trail. You can avoid them. You won't aggro them. Oh yeah, you can use all the MMO terms. Now that I think about it, you can use every MMO term for this Pokemon game, and it's the strangest thing. And I guess I just didn't expect the MMO Pokemon, and then you can like battle these giant version of Pokemon called like Gigamax or something like that, and you can team up with other people. It's like a raid, bro.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, folks, Pokemon Sword and Shield is an MMO Pokemon game. That's what it is. Except you see no people walking around. That's the only difference. You're the only person walking around. It's really, and then they got level areas. Yep. So when yes, so in the same area, I made a wrong turn and freaking went into this bush, and it was like a level 36 basic monster that I could not kill or catch. And I had to run out of the area. Pokemon are all chasing me, and I had to get out of the area. Otherwise, what does this sound like, Johnny? What does this sound like?
An MMO. That basic dude said, "Boy, you are in the wrong neighborhood."
Yes, yes. It was like the weakest of the Pokemon chain, but yet it was so high a level. And then when the Pokemon are high enough level, they don't even give you the opportunity to catch them. Normally, if you can beat a Pokemon down, like hey, if you got a Great Ball or you got a Pokeball and you got luck, you can catch anything you want. Hell no. This game literally put up a roadblock. When you don't have a certain badge, you cannot catch a Pokemon of a certain level. So, oh yeah, dude, it's legit. Damn it. I think I really did something big here by calling this game an MMO and proving it.
Well,
Those are
in tr-
facts.
you see, the acid test of a true MMO is there pay to win elements, i.e., microtransactions?
Ooh,
Because I can imagine it now. Oh, you just beat this, I don't know, insert Pokemon name here,
got
but
you.
you couldn't catch him? Well, for 299, we can just go ahead and forego that missing badge and let you keep him.
Ooh, well, you got to remember we are dealing with Nintendo, who magically made DLC for a Legend of Zelda game. So, which seems impossible. I didn't know you could ever do that.
Even
Uh,
the mighty have fallen.
exactly. So it's not far fetched. I don't think they will do that because that'll mess with the competitive scene. And it would really skew a lot of different things. But I mean, I've seen worse come from better. Like, I've
Yeah.
seen, yeah. I mean, we can talk about Bioware. We could talk about Bethesda. Like I said, I've seen worse come from better people or better groups. Um, but long story short, I'm gonna force myself to grind through Pokemon, and it's not that it's boring or it's bad. It's just I have other games I could play.
Mm.
You know, it's almost like it would have been better as a mobile game for me. Like, oh, I'm bored, I'm sitting at work, let me pick it up, and that's kind of what it is because it's on the Nintendo Switch. So, and no, I don't play my Nintendo Switch at work.
All right. The most important question of them all with
Uh-oh.
regards to Pokemons is
Got me.
which one is your favorite?
The favorite game or favorite monster? Favorite Pokemon?
Favorite favorite Pokemon.
My favorite Pokemon, it would be a mix between Hitmonchan and Genghis Khan. I don't know.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah, I probably butchered his name, but that thing is dope. It's like a dinosaur. Uh, it's like a dinosaur kangaroo, and yeah,
Sure.
yeah, it's a dinosaur kangaroo. I'll send you a picture later. And I enjoy the living those ones I always try to catch. And then there's another one called Larvitar. It's like a weird dinosaur looking thing, like Godzilla in pocket form. Those have always been my like favorites that I try to get when possible. Actually, I think the I bought sword version because you can get no, I bought the sword version because it has Pokemon that I've never caught before.
Mm.
Because each version there's Sword and Shield. Each version has different Pokemon that you have access to. One thing I will say I like about this game a lot better than Sun and Moon is it doesn't have like checkpoint markers, or at least I haven't experienced them like as bad as they were. Because I felt like on Sun and Moon it was like, oh, big yellow dot, like get here, and it's like just guiding you, and I'm like, that's not what it is. Let me go be great. Let me go be a Pokemon master. Let me get lost. Let me end up in a level 36 area with level 10 Pokemon. You know, let me be great
And get slapped.
and get slapped, wrecked. But yeah, seriously, you know, it's fun in its own way, and I probably just got to sit down and really give it a chance. But usually, I don't have to give games a chance. I usually just play them and I enjoy them or I don't. And the
Yeah.
fact that I'm not, yeah, like the fact that I'm not like burning down my house trying to play my Nintendo Switch as much as I can to beat Pokemon, and the fact that I haven't got a beat a gym boss yet, that's one reason why I feel like I can't give a it's a bad game because I haven't fully played it. And I don't like when people give reviews like that. Now, if it didn't work and I couldn't play it because it was crashing and this and that, then that's a different story. But in terms of the game actually functioning, it functions fine. It plays fine. It looks great. The environment's nice. Only thing that's weird is they turn Pokemon into an MMO. So that's all I got to say about it.
One more thing to add before we transition away from Pokemon is
Got
that
you.
my question about which one's your favorite, it actually had a right answer, and you did not give the right answer.
Oh, I didn't give the right answer.
No. Your
What's the right?
favorite should be Magnemite and his evolutions.
Oh, snaps. Dude,
See,
how did you know about Magnemite?
okay. I've never played a Pokemon game. I've only not watched like one or two episodes of
Got you.
the cartoon, and one of those two episodes had him in it, and automatically he was just my favorite. He was like a little flying robot. How could you not?
Right? A little magnetized balls of evil.
Magnemite.
Yep. Oh my god, that's funny. And what makes that even funnier, I can't even remember the last time Magnemite's been in a video game. You know, because
He's
over generations they kind of like keep you can, except for this game which they really screwed up on. Damn, you got me going on a whole nother rant. Um,
whoops.
you could put your Pokemon in a Pokemon bank and transfer them over, so all the assets would roll over. Like they created assets for all the Pokemon, but they claim this one. This is actually a big controversy for the game, which didn't amount to crap because people just like to complain and still spend their money on the stuff they complained about. Um, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But they claim that they didn't make assets for all the Pokemon, so there's only limited Pokemon that can be on this game. A lot of people complained about it, talking about that Niantic lied to us, da 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 da. And you're right, and fools still bought it. But
So so no floating magnets.
I don't. There's another one. It's called something else, It looks like it's an octagon, and it has a little metal ball in the middle. I forgot its name. I'm not a good Pokemon trainer.
I I can only name like two, so don't ask me.
But okay, so moving on from Pokemon, man. So what games you been playing?
Well, I picked up a game yesterday and I've been playing it ever since, and it is called Thief Simulator.
Steam for the
I,
win.
absolutely. I do not condone the act of burglary or theft.
Yes,
I just want to put that
StarCrossed
out front.
gamers do not condone felonies or larceny.
Exactly. Man, this is a game I think you would actually like quite a bit because even though it's technically, a simulator, it is a pretty good RPG because
Ooh.
you have a character. Um, there's actually a story, and like even a good one, which I was not expecting from this at all. Because it's what is it? Majestic Muffins, Royal Muffins, whoever the company that made it. They're like an indie company, okay? So they're not like I don't know, like the AAA.
Got
But
you.
it's actually pretty good. You can so basically, you're just when you start, you're just a scrub. You're breaking into like empty houses, getting like the first item you steal is an old toaster, and then you leave. But you start grinding, and then oh my god, there's a lot of features. There's like there's like a 24-hour clock, and the inhabitants of the houses or buildings or like like companies or whatever, they'll have like schedules. So like 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. they'll be out, so you can go in, uncontested. But there are some other buildings where there'll be like four people total, and one of them never leaves. So you have to, like, sneak on around them without getting caught, and then you gradually fill up your backpack, which is your inventory, and then
Got you.
at the end, like once you escape the map, they'll give you XP in like a rundown of how you did, and
Oh
then you can
snaps.
level up and you get
So
perks.
so is it first person?
Yes, it's first
Oh.
person, but you can drive a car, and that can be in first or third person.
Oh, this sounds like a big game.
It really is. Like I was not expecting as much as I got because it's
How much?
currently
Oh, I was gonna say, go ahead.
currently it is on sale until the 26th. So if you're listening past this, I'm sorry, but it is currently 10.99. But I think it is double that normally.
Ah, got you. Well, I mean, for indie, you know what? I have so much respect for indie games because I think indie games drove these last 6 years, this last console
Absolutely.
generation. I mean, you think about everything from Journey, to Cuphead to honestly, most of the big games that I can think of were indie games. And then even with PC, I mean, well, look what Arma 2 did. Arma 2 created what, three games that are like big time games that people play.
I
You
know,
could,
yeah. Arma 3 is crazy.
I mean, was it the Arma 2 mods or the Arma 3 mod? Like that created
Uh,
Daisy.
oh, I
They
think
created
that was two.
PUBG. It was
Yeah.
PUBG off of that too, right?
Well, yeah. Yeah, you can say that they were there first.
No, and that's what I'm saying. So here it is. Indie really drove, because I think if it wasn't for indie games, we would have had another gaming bubble. We'd have had another crisis, and things would have took a weird turn, and it would have went full disco. Um,
Abs-
thank
they
God for
keep the
indie.
machine running.
They really do, man. And sometimes Steam pages do get weird. We've talked about that.
Oh my, yes. It is.
Um,
They really need to fix it though.
yeah, it's you type in the wrong word on Steam and your whole search engine is screwed, and for
Or
months.
you can even type the right words and still get some pretty dodgy suggestions.
Yeah, Steam gets suspect. It is definitely page 5 of Google sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
oh, how to make a chicken. Oh, how to genetically modify a chicken to grow talons. Like that's what you find on page 5 of Google of how to like it's absolute mayhem. And one thing though, keep going about Thief Simulator because for me, guys, if you didn't know, I rebranded everything and I play RPG games. So I'm the RPG gamer, Baron J67. So if you see me streaming, if you see me making a YouTube video, that's my title. That's what I go as, and it's easier for me to. It was a big decision for me to niche down so that I can package myself and sell myself in an easier way. It's easier to say that better than I'm a Twitch affiliate, I'm a variety streamer versus I'm Baron J67, the RPG gamer. Like
Yeah.
it's an easier package, and that's what she said, and it just it's a good way. So bringing up Thief Simulator, it's actually something that sounds really interesting.
Um, I'm trying to think of other. Oh, okay. One more big feature is eventually you can upgrade your stuff so
Oh
that you'll
shit.
get better equipment, you'll get a better car because you start with like a crappy like sedan, but then you can upgrade to like a proper like black, van, and then you can change your starter house to like a much bigger house. And then when you get the bigger house, I found this like incredible. You can actually customize the house. Like you can buy furniture,
Oh,
you can buy wallpaper, and then just have added,
oh,
which I
dude, it's
think is
even a
incredible.
VR game as well.
Yeah, they just did that, I think, recently, right?
I believe so. Holy crap! It's on Switch.
Oh, it is?
Oh, game over, bro.
Oh, I mean, come on,
Oh, dude, you
RPG
get to
gamer.
pick locks like legit pick locks.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing I wanted to say. The locks, it, it's good and bad. It's
Okay.
really good because I think you can say that this company copied a lot of mechanics from other franchises. Like for the lock picking, it's like exactly out of Elder Scrolls. Because like the beginner locks is like the Skyrim way of picking locks, where you have
Okay.
like you're um changing the angle of like the bobby pin or whatever.
Got you.
But then the tier two locks are more Oblivion style lock picking, where you have the five um
The
I don't know what they're
pins.
called, pins. Yeah, and you have to push them all down. So there's a lot
Dude,
of content.
dude, that looking at some of the screenshots, it looks like they took Hitman and turned it into a thief simulator.
I know. The only my only big complaint is that there are a few glitches
Ah,
and you can't actually hit people, which I think is sad.
you know what though, man? I get you, but you got
It
to
makes
think.
sense, but I'm sad still.
Yeah, I was about to say the moment you add that mechanic, you now turn it into Grand Theft Auto, breaking and entering.
But like because you're the RPG gamer, I'm also a bit of an RPG guy, and the way I basically played all of Oblivion and Skyrim is that I would combine the Dark Brotherhood stuff with the Thieves Guild stuff. So, you would go into a house, kill the dude for the Dark Brotherhood, and rob his house for the Thieves Guild. That's what
Yep.
I would do. And so, not being able to do one of those two things is a bit of a um, adjustment.
You know what? I'm gonna say something real controversial, and I don't know if I've said it before. Speaking on
Oh,
Oblivion, speaking on Morrowind, um, or Elder Scrolls, I actually
be careful.
enjoyed Oblivion a little more than Skyrim.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Oblivion
really,
is my favorite.
I wish Oblivion had Skyrim's fighting mechanics, and it would be the perfect game.
Yeah.
Also though, I would want the spell making abilities from Morrowind.
Oh, I've never played Mage. Like
Oh,
I've tried but given up because just like the mana pools. Why do you
it's
have to wait?
ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous, and then it's already hard enough to find health potions. let alone mana potions to offset that whole lack of.
Oh, well, you see, the thing is, I was a man and I did not use health potions.
Oh, so would you went around eating what you kill?
Pretty much. I just, the only times I would get huge health boosts is when I level up.
Oh, well, look, well, excuse me for wanting to
I know.
survive. But no, I remember in Morrowind the ability to create spells, and I used to cheat my ass off. Like I would create a spell that mixed conjuration with whatever, and I would cast
Hmm.
it, and I'd be boosting both stats. That was actually something I really enjoyed about Morrowind. Like there's pieces of each game that I feel like if they put into Morrowind, Morrowind would have been the ultimate game. I didn't think Morrowind's combat was bad until I played Skyrim. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
mind. Yeah, because I didn't mind the whole sitting there hacking and hacking and hacking and not wondering why the person's dying. It's like, oh, because it rolled the dice digitally and said you didn't hit them. Like I wasn't completely against that.
Yeah.
Speaking of rolling dice,
Oh, by
dude,
the way,
go ahead.
there is spell crafting in Oblivion. I had to double check. It's there.
It is.
Yeah.
Holy, maybe it's been that long since I played. Huh. Well, look at.
And I would also like to add that Morrowind's official release date was May 1st, 2002, and at that time I was only a year old, so it's a little bit before my time.
Dude, there's such an age gap. It's amazing. I love it. I think I got
Absolutely.
I think I got 11 years on you.
See, I've
Uh
never played no Pokemons, no Zelda, no Morrowind. It's totally
but
different.
and that makes sense. That actually makes perfect sense and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you ever get bored and you want to play something, I promise you, if you enjoyed Oblivion, you'll enjoy the hell out of Morrowind. Like
Oh, I
you'll
I believe.
Yeah, Morrowind. It's funny. I don't think I ever got far in the story at all. Like, because once again, I was a kid playing it. But I did not. I was not bored.
Yeah.
Like I think about all because my first console. I think I was like 2 years old, and my parents bought me a Sega. It was really just there to keep my cousins busy when they came over. So like, there's pictures of me with like the controller not plugged in. I was one of those memes. You can't even fool kids anymore now with that because
No.
my daughters know the light's not on, so it's not working. Like they want the light to be on. If it's not glowing, that PlayStation emblem or that Xbox emblem, if it's not glowing, they're mad. They're like, no, controllers, this ain't working. I don't know who you
I
thought
know.
you were playing with, but I'm not the one. And that's how my daughters look at me, like I'm stupid. So I gotta figure. I think they need to come. Ooh, maybe I can just install like a little dummy LED or something.
Or just like copy it, like print out just like the glowing symbol
Right,
and just put that over
right.
the other one.
I gotta come out with something special or like a little USB or something that slides in and makes it looks like it's on. Because otherwise, my kids are looking at me like, what
It's
are we
not
doing?
on.
Yeah, it's not on. Like, don't play me. But no, it's a trip how I think about like all the old games I used to play that I
Hmm.
didn't beat any of them until I became an adult. Like I didn't beat the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade edition. I didn't beat the Simpsons arcade edition. I didn't beat. A lot of these arcade games were on Super Nintendo as well. And I didn't beat like the X-Men on Sega. I didn't beat Spider-Man. Carnage. Spider-Man versus Carnage. Um, I didn't be or Comic Zone. These are all dope classic games, by the way, that I recommend you play. Uh,
Hmm.
they're platforming at their greatest. And I didn't beat none of these games until I got older. Like my wife beat this. Have you heard of the game Altered Beast?
I think I've heard of it, but I've never
Yeah,
played it.
it's a Sega classic. Dudes get power ups and turn into big monsters. My wife beat
Hmm.
it before I did, and I
Wow.
was just sitting there. Yeah, it was on. I forgot. I think it was Xbox 360. It might have been Xbox One, but I was just kind of sitting on the bed, and I was like, "Holy hell, she's beating Altered Beast. She's getting to levels that I've never dreamed of." And yeah, I just suck. And here it is. She's just picking it up, pressing pause, going about her way, living her best life, and yeah, classic
You
games.
you and Altered Beast is my Grand Theft Auto Vice City because that is a game.
Ooh,
My okay. I don't know the full story. I'm pretty sure my parents played, here and there, but it was mostly just to keep me busy. You
got you.
know, what do I know? What do I do? I was just driving around. That's pretty much all I did as like a kid. But actually going back and playing it for like the story, oh my God, it's a completely
Story,
different game.
story was amazing. If I'm not mistaken, Vice City was the first Grand Theft Auto that had a voiced main character. Because Vice City came out before San
Yes.
Andreas, right?
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
came after Grand Theft Auto 3, which did not
Yes.
have a protagonist,
The
a
protagonist was
voice
not
protagonist.
voiced. Um,
They got
yeah,
Ray Liotta too. Way to start it off with the bang.
yeah, they hit home runs all the way with that. You know which one I truly enjoyed, and I wish they kind of used the mechanics in GTA 5 was Grand Theft Auto
4.
4. I loved it. A lot of people I heard complaints because it was such a far stretch from San Andreas.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, like you went from running around being a god to like, hey, somebody can shoot you in your knee and you might fall. Like, and that was so epic to me. I used to run around and shoot people in the knees, like just to watch them like collapse. I thought that was the greatest thing ever. Or like even the cover system, and like when you hit
Yeah.
somebody in the shoulder, they fall back. Especially if you got a big enough gun, like if you hit them with a shotgun, they're really gonna fall backwards. I thought that was God's gift to humanity. Like it was absolute bonkers. Um, we really went off track, didn't we?
Yeah, but it's fine. Grand Theft Auto is worth talking about, right?
Always. Are you playing GTA 5 currently?
See, I've been slacking with my Grand Theft Auto 5. My friend Dylan, who I hope is listening,
Shout
uh,
out to Dylan.
it keeps I know he keeps urging me to play, but it's it's such a grind these days.
Mm. Did
GTA 5 Online, that is.
you know what? Did I ever have you ever heard me talk about my serious gripe with GTA 5?
I don't recall. Lay,
Okay,
lay it
so
on me.
all right, I'm going into it. I'm going on another rant, folks. Buckle up. I feel GTA 5 and GTA Online almost ruined gaming.
Wow, that was not
Yes,
where I was expecting.
no, and let me tell you why. Because they started the whole merging, at least in my opinion and what I've seen, and I could be completely wrong. They started the merging of or turning console games into PC style games.
I'm not following you.
Okay, Grand Theft Auto took on the model of what would what's my best like, and I think I'm talking more of like the way they distribute the DLC and the way they distribute updates. It felt more like a PC online, like more like a, I guess a cheap example would be WoW. It felt more like WoW or a game with seasons. Like, oh, okay, we're doing this. Oh, it's Halloween, so this is going on. And it's just, instead of them coming out with deep DLC like they normally did, you think
Oh
about
yeah,
GTA 4, you had what was it, the Sons of Law or the
the
Lost Sons.
yeah, and the
Um,
Ballad of Gay Tony.
yeah, like you had all of these things, and it was deep stories, and it added to the lore, added to the world. While you still had your GTA Online experience, it just wasn't world building. It was more of just going around killing each other, which was
Yeah,
fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. Um, I
don't
feel
worry.
like
The
I feel
sure.
like GTA making all this money doing this, it almost inspired everybody else because it's like, hey, wait a minute, I can just do a battle pass. I can just do seasons. I don't have to create a whole new experience or a whole new story or now I'm speaking poorly on Grand Theft Auto because they add a story to every new game mode they add. or
Hmm.
every new season. Like they do commercials and everything, so they go all out. Yes, but I really think it put a dent in the creativity and the risk taking abilities in gaming developers.
Now,
That
GTA Online. Okay, sorry.
no, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to point out two things. First, GTA 5 came out over 6 years ago.
That's my point. That further adds to my issue.
And secondly, GTA Online killed GTA 5.
Yes, it did.
Not a single story DLC for GTA 5
That
in
and I
six
feel
years.
I feel robbed personally.
They used to like just port over all of the stuff from GTA Online to GTA Story Mode, like the extra guns and cars. They've just completely stopped doing that now. It's just sorry.
It became a game of its own, like
It
Fortnite.
has.
Like Fortnite did, because Fortnite originally was a story mode driven game, and then the
Did
online was
the
supposed.
did the story mode even come out?
Yeah, it fully released. You can buy it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called like Save the World or something like that.
Fortnite Save the World or just Save the World?
I think it's like Fortnite Save the World or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the
No.
comments, folks. Um, but it's a I'm not mad at its success. It just scares me because imagine what kind of DLC we could have had over 6 years if they would have put the same amount of work into the DLC and store and single player experience as they did into multiplayer. And
Yeah.
I just now think about the success they're having with GTA Online. What's going to happen with the next GTA? Is it going to be one of those things where it's an online only experience?
Oh,
Is
please
no,
no.
it sounds stupid and it sounds
But
scary.
it's the reality.
Thank you. And that's what scares me and that's why I truly feel cuz GTA Online first off, I think timeline wise, mobile gaming and the way they monetize mobile gaming creeped into console gaming. One.
Oh, absolutely.
That was one. And then the next step was you started getting a lot of games that became games as service, which in my opinion, games as a service should not be on consoles. I think that is a PC thing. Like I've always thought of that as a PC thing. Like, okay, the MMOs we play, the Star
Yeah, that
Wars.
makes sense.
No, that's what I meant about PC style gaming. And and then you got all the crossplay. You got crossplay is good to an extent. Controllers will never beat mouse and keyboard. It just but you blur the lines. It's almost to a point of like, well, damn, why do I even have a console if all the games function and
Just
play
go to
like
PC anyways.
that's what I'm saying. And then the point of consoles was to be pick up and play. That was the whole purpose of, well, not originally, but consoles, that's what they are. When PC, I think, is a lifestyle choice. Like that's
Yeah.
like picking a religion by picking up a PC and really getting into it. And everybody I know who got into PC this year, they're talking about graphics cards and overclocking and water cooling this. Like, but because it becomes a lifestyle choice. But with console, it should just be I picked it up. It runs every game that comes out on it at a good whatever, as long as my internet is straight.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to worry about And this may be the old man in me talking.
Oh
Um,
boy.
right? No, because I know what
Boomer
it sounds
Boomer
like.
Baron.
I hear myself. I sound like the old guy standing on the corner talking about you young whippersnappers. Like I get
Yeah.
it,
Back
but
in my day.
yeah, back in my day, you picked up a game and played it, and that was it. Like
You didn't have to pay $13 a month.
and what sucks is you got whole generations of people growing up. Like I'm thinking about when you hit your prime years, you saw. Okay, when did Oblivion come out?
I would assume '07, just off the top of my head.
I'm thinking so too, because that's when I remember my first like real DLC issue, and that was with the horse
Oh
armor.
yeah, the horse armor. Yep.
Um, And we give Bethesda mad slack on that as if they didn't start that crap.
I
Um,
mean, personally, I've never been like a huge critic of DLCs like that because yes, it did like actually matter, as in like it wasn't purely cosmetic, but it was entirely optional. Like
very true.
I ne I've never once rode a horse into combat in Oblivion.
Never. I never did it on Skyrim either. It just seems like a piss poor idea. Um,
Skyrim did have like mounted like combat though,
yeah, they
just
did.
bad.
Yeah, I was like, not rolling the
It's
dice on
missing
that
like
one.
spears and lances and stuff if you wanted
Yeah,
to
there's
do
a
that,
bunch of other weapons that need to be there.
and you
Um,
can't be a horse archer.
that part. But you know what? So it came out in '06.
I was close.
Yeah. Um, I just feel like you grew like your upbringing. You came up. Wow, I sound really old right now, and I don't like it. Um,
It's fine.
you came up in a lot of DLC time frame. Like, I mean, Candy Crush was probably huge when like everybody had Candy
No,
Crush.
I don't think it's that old, is it?
No, it's
Candy
not. No,
Crush?
no, no. I'm talking about just within your formative years. Like, just
Oh, okay.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. You got the Candy Crush. Everybody buying extra whatevers. You got,
Extra lives.
yeah, mobile games are predatory as hell. Loot boxes start really coming about. Which Call of Duty was it? Um, that had that one box thing. The first one to really do
Ghosts?
it. Was it Ghost?
I know they put microtransactions in a game that previously didn't have
There you
microtransactions.
go. All of these different issues and things. You got a whole generation of people who that's all they know. So it's not a
Yeah.
bad thing. It's not bad to them. It's normal. It's like, oh, that's just how games are. Not realizing that these same companies used to sell you a full game for the same price, a full experience, and then they would only charge you like $20 on a high end for a whole nother 15 hours of an experience. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
thank God for companies like CD Projekt Red and I mean, I'm gonna still say Bethesda. I think they're going through a rough period, and from what I heard, I forgot who I was listening to, but Bethesda, ZeniMax, I think they're trying to go public,
You
and
know,
that
I
might
don't.
explain why there's a bunch of crap going on with Bethesda because they're trying to make money for the stocks.
Oh, so you think it's like ZeniMax really screwing Bethesda
Yeah,
over?
I really think that's what it is. Now, don't quote me on that, folks. I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked too deep. But I think they're private right now. They're not public. I haven't seen a stock number for them. Or what is it? Take two. Nah, I haven't. Let me see. I don't see any stock, like any. Yeah. I don't see. You know, usually when you type in a stock, it just pops up and give you the number or the code. I don't see nothing. Um,
But you see, like, if I may interject here,
Go ahead.
I don't know maybe how this might be the exception, but there's a game out there, maybe you don't know about it, called Elder Scrolls Online. And
Yeah.
now
So.
from what I understand, ZeniMax had a pretty like strong say in how that game was developed, and
Mm-hmm.
by and large, it is still pretty good. So I don't really, maybe I don't know, because I don't know how suddenly 4 and 76 can be like atrocious when they already like tried and tested like this stuff with online. It's a different genre of game, I grant you,
True. 100.
but you
percent
know, there's still DLCs and stuff.
Yeah. I think the issue with four was they tried to make it for everybody.
Hmm.
When I should have been afraid when I seen how many commercials. Dude, commercials were everywhere for Fallout 4.
Oh yeah,
They had commercials like I seen more commercials for that than damn Call of Duty. Like it was nuts how much money they invested into marketing for that game. And that
but
should have been a clear sign.
absolutely. But you know, we touched on 4 already. I think 76 should get the broadside here
Mm,
because you they I think they spent just as much money, if not more, on the marketing for
mm-hmm.
76. And oh my god, the release was horrible.
Yeah.
Like people couldn't even play the game. Like it would I've heard stories of like people's computers being corrupted and like they can't use the entire computer just trying to install and play the
Whoa.
game.
I'm gonna tell you, if I found out that a game corrupted even one person's PC, I wouldn't even download it. It wouldn't even be worth the
Yeah.
risk to me. Like I know people like there's a guy out there, the Black Hokage. He had a deal with he had a sponsored stream with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and it was like
Hmm.
blue screening his new rig. And he was like, you know
Oh,
what? He canceled the stream live. He canceled the sponsorship live. Like it was like with Mountain Dew and Call of Duty. He went ham. He was like, I just spent 2 grand on this rig. It's my investment. It's how I make my money. I am not gonna risk it playing this game. Understandable. Cause it and then seeing that would make me not even want to install it on my little rinky dink. You
was that
know,
the beta or the full version?
nah, it was the full version. He was trying to do like a live release night thing. Don't quote me on that, but it was a big. It looked like a big deal. It was a big live stream, but he canceled it live. Um, but straight out though, when it comes to Bethesda, I really am holding out. I talk a lot of crap, but it's out of love because this company has made some of the most memorable games for me.
Absolutely.
From waking up in that one town in Morrowind and breaking in everybody's house. That was the first time I ever played a game where I truly felt like I could do anything. And I
Oh
could.
yeah.
I can go anywhere. I can walk in any direction. There was nobody saying no. If the door, if it was a door, I could break into it or open it. Um, the pickpocketing, boosting your stats as you did stuff. Like I remember I'd walk around jumping.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
That was an
just
Oblivion too.
just walk around jumping. And then, you know what? I actually really love the character creation on Oblivion. The whole picking your was that the one where you got to pick your roles? I keep mixing up Oblivion and Morrowind.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm a
Obliv
thief.
I really
I'm a dark knife or
yeah.
whatever.
Oblivion was, I think, unique in their character creation because it was pretty close to like a D&D spreadsheet.
Yes, 100%. Oh my God, you play D&D?
No, but I would not say no
You know
to an
what?
opportunity.
I think one of these days we're gonna have to do like a session. We got to find a dungeon master.
Oh yeah.
Pause. For those who don't know about Dungeons and Dragons, a dungeon master is the person who runs the story.
Also, disclaimer, Dungeons and Dragons may have a pretty bad reputation as being the epitome of geekiness and nerdiness, but I think nowadays it has spread out and become better. For instance, they have a Star Wars Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, that sounds
There's
dope.
literally everything.
Well,
I forget what it's called, like Legion or something. I don't know.
let me tell you, folks. I believe I talked about it on Adventures of the Black Nerds, but I'll do it here for those who haven't listened.
Go watch that too.
Yeah, go watch that too. And also go watch Growing and Going with Baron J67. So another
But
one that
after
I
this,
after
please.
this. Yeah, please, please, please. Um, my experience with Dungeons and Dragons is I went to a jam session and we were there for like 6 hours, and
Oh wow.
I was at a table full of new people, and I was new at the time as well. And we took like 3 hours just creating characters and backstories, but I didn't complain. It wasn't like, folks, you know what I compare Dungeons and Dragons to, and whether or not you can enjoy it. If you enjoy going to like medieval times
Like the
or
Renaissance fairs.
the Renaissance fairs or anything like that, if you go to like the Disney, the Star Wars, I forgot what it's called, the landing, the Disney, what is it called, the new place?
Oh,
I forgot what
I
it's
don't
called.
remember.
But if you
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge, if you enjoy these things and you find yourself getting into it, or you go to like the Harry Potter place at Universal Studios, like if you really enjoy that and you don't mind having fun and getting into it, I think you should try Dungeons and Dragons
It's
because
not it yeah. it's not even necessarily like tied to a certain genre. That you
Yeah,
can have a Dungeons and Dragons for literally any topic.
yeah.
Like you can have a, I don't know, an Adventure Time Dungeons and Dragons
Oh
if you
yeah.
wanted to. It
Oh yeah.
works with anything.
Yeah. hundred
It's
percent.
just it's making your own characters and exploring the world
Yep.
of that universe.
I mean, I can't tell you the amount of people I imaginarily slept with in my adventure just to get free
Oh,
items. Um, it
nice.
it was terrible. I was such a man whore. But one thing, what happened? Oh, and folks, for those who have for those who play fantasy football or fantasy sports, that is just Dungeons and Dragons with real life characters. That is all that is. You go and you select a random lineup who you hope is going to do well, and you bank on them doing well with stat rolls. That's all that fantasy sports is. I got into a big debate with somebody. I was like, you think Dungeons and Dragons is nerdy? You play it every year. You play fantasy football. You set up drafts. You all you are is the manager of this fake team that has real life players. It's
As
actually
your man,
more meta. It's actually probably more meta than anything on earth. Like that is probably the most realistic version. You can't get any realer Dungeons and Dragons than actually having a fantasy football team.
but as the manager, can I distribute adrenaline potions to my team?
Right? Could you? That would actually be funny. I think that's the gambling version of fantasy football. I think you get special boosts if you
Oh,
spend certain money. Yeah, microtransactions have made their way into fantasy sports,
they're
but
everywhere.
there's a payout for those ones. But hey, you know what game I actually picked up and I want to start playing with my daughter. I feel like she's old enough to where we could walk her through it. Is it called id or what's the card Dungeons and Dragons? It's got the
Oh,
little dudes with the big nose. And you get so many slots and you play on the cards and me and my wife we were
oh,
so bored one night that we played with and we made it a arbitrary third person, and then like all the decisions that the third person had to make, we flipped a coin or played rock paper
hmm.
scissors to see who would benefit. Oddly enough, that a arbitrary third person beat me, and I was like the first person to die. Wasn't my best run.
Wow.
Kicked down the door and there was a big monster and I had no and then the arbitrary person rolled to not help me. I was like, "Are you serious?" Because of course my
Did
wife's
did
not
you
gonna help
roll
me.
did you roll your own die for the arbitrary person and not help you?
I probably did. I do have that crappy luck. Um, it,
Nice.
dude. Okay, so my worst critical fail ever was we were going down the so we went to a potion shop and then the potion guy disappeared and we were looking for him and then we found like the dungeon master said that there was a portal into a pocket dimension. You can and I was like, well, I want to roll to go in. Well, come to so I
Big mistake.
fail. Yeah, I fail. I fall down the hole, but then somebody else rolls to catch me. They caught me, but then the next person behind them critical failed, and we all ended up like falling on top of each other into the pocket dimension, and we all took damage. Like it was just great. Or the time I got beat up by a like dying owl bear. Yeah, yeah. I did a lot of failing in that run. But I love, man. I wish I could play more often. To be honest, that and I
You
want to
know,
go ahead.
you know what we have to do?
What's up?
I don't know how much time we have left, so probably we may not be able to squeeze it in here, but I think it would be fun to like create or like we would pick a franchise that we're both fans of,
Okay.
and then we create a Dungeons and Dragons character.
Well, if we got a couple minutes, so let's just pick Dungeons
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls. Let's pick Elder Scrolls.
I
So
can go first
go ahead.
if
Let's
you
do
want me
it.
to.
Character
I
creation.
think I don't have a name,
Go
but I
ahead.
would be the Imperial Legionnaire, you know, the
Of
tank,
course.
sword and board, and
For the
I would be
Empire.
like, Absolutely. And I would have one of those backstories where it's like, I was of noble blood, but I am the third of my family. So obviously I was not going to inherit. So I joined the army. And
Mm.
I have had several adventures with my, noble captains and lowly sergeants and recruits. So I'd be the high and mighty Imperial Legionnaire.
Ooh, okay. So me, that's actually really good. Me, I would actually be an orc who was raised by vagabonds and rogues. So you got this giant walking around pickpocketing people and sneaking into houses at night. like the town all thinks they're cursed because there's this big creature that's breaking into houses and stealing stuff. And I would be an archer and I'd carry daggers. So I would be this giant orc with nothing but like leather armor and dual daggers.
That exists in Elder Scrolls, in Oblivion, in the Shaden Hall, Guild Hall for the Dark Brotherhood. There's, the Dark Brotherhood. They're always like the
Oh yeah.
sneaky, dagger guys. There's all them, and then there's just this orc with heavy armor and a huge battle axe.
Yeah.
And in one of the missions, like before you go out for one of the missions, you talk to him, and he's like, what? Why do you have to go in there all sneaky and like poison his drink? Just walk in there and stab him.
Yeah. I think that would be absolutely greatness because I'd be the last person you'd expect to pick your pockets because it's like there's no way that big dude, that big orc moved that quietly. Um we really are hitting the final minutes. Holy crap. Dude, episode
Oh,
2.
and many more to come, hopefully.
Many more to come. Folks, I want you to let us know in the comments what's your favorite RPG experience. And if you tried Dungeons and Dragons, please tell me about it. Tell us about it because I mean it's a magical experience and it's a way to be super creative. And I think everybody should try it at least once. Go ahead.
Also, if you do not have any of those experiences to share, how about you leave a comment about what you thought of this podcast?
Yeah,
Suggestions, maybe more talking points you would like us to discuss. Anything. Leave it down below. We want feedback.
we do need quality assurance. Dude, good shit, Johnny. Damn, Johnny don't play, y'all. I'm telling you. But look,
Thank you.
folks, I really do appreciate you. Thank you, Tone Deaf and the family, for broadcasting us everywhere from Apple
You're
Music
the
and on.
best.
And then, folks, please subscribe to us. Well, all of this is under the Baron J67 YouTube page, which the links will be there below. Please subscribe. Please, 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 please. Need all the help I can get. Check me out on Patreon. Check me out on Twitter. Everywhere I want you to find me is Baron J67. But please consider supporting the Patreon. $1 a month really helps out a struggling gamer like me. Anywhere you want them to find you?
Um, Probably just my Instagram. Johnny Man, all one word, underscore 117.
There you go. Johnny Man, one word underscore 117. Folks, I'm Baron J67.
And I am Johnny.
Peace.
Peace out.